The Essence of Meditation. Chapter 7, Stillness and Motion. As previously mentioned, the essence of meditation is to keep the mind awake while allowing the body to enter into a state of sleep. The specific method for achieving meditation is to maintain stillness in the body so that the body's built-in sensors cannot detect any muscle movement. With enough practice and time, your brain, more accurately, your unconscious brain, mistakenly believing that you have fallen asleep, will gradually shut down both your motor and sensory nerves, inhibiting the sympathetic nerves while stimulating the parasympathetic nerves. This ultimately leads your body into a completely relaxed state of sleep. That is why I have repeatedly emphasized that maintaining stillness is the first key element of meditation, and I can even assert that it is the only key element of meditation. Moreover, through simple logical reasoning, I can make a bolder guess that any human activity that is achieved by maintaining stillness in the body is essentially meditation. For example, Zhuang, Niden, and various static exercises in Qigong, including Tuna and Xingqi, through breath adjustment. Although they may superficially appear to be vastly different, some standing, some sitting, and some lying down, with different internal focusing points as well, they all essentially achieve meditation by maintaining stillness in the body. However, although most meditation methods are achieved by keeping the body still, there are nevertheless some very special methods that achieve meditation through bodily movement. For example, in addition to sitting meditation, Buddhist practitioners sometimes choose an outdoor space, focus their minds without any distractions, and walk back and forth in a straight line with very slow steps, called walking meditation. In fact, the slowness of the pace is not necessary, because some experienced practitioners can achieve the same effect with faster speeds. That is to say, slowness is not the key to walking meditation, but maintaining a constant speed and moving in a straight line are the keys. So, what is the connection between moving at a constant speed in a straight line and maintaining stillness? People who have studied physics know that Newton's first law states that when an object is not subjected to an external force, it will remain at rest or move at a constant speed in a straight line. It is common sense and relatively easy to understand that an object that is not subject to external forces remains at rest. However, an object that is not subject to external forces can also maintain constant speed in a straight line, which is a discovery that contradicts common sense and also underlies Newton's greatness. So again, what is the inherent commonality between maintaining stillness and moving at a constant speed in a straight line, or uniform linear motion? In other words, what is the essential difference between stillness/uniform linear motion and other forms of motion, that is, nonlinear motion and non-uniform linear motion? The answer is simple. That is, the acceleration of stillness and uniform linear motion is zero, while the acceleration of nonlinear motion and non-uniform linear motion is not zero. The sensors in your body, mentioned earlier, like the sensors in smartwatches, are actually acceleration sensors, or accelerometers, not velocity sensors. That is to say, stillness and uniform linear motion are the same for them because the acceleration is zero. This explains why uniform linear motion, like walking meditation, and stillness have the same effect, since your unconscious brain mistakenly thinks you are asleep because it cannot detect any acceleration of your muscles and thus lets your body go into a sleep state. In addition, the sensors in your body are not as sensitive as you thought. That means that as long as you keep the acceleration of your body movements within a small range, even nonlinear or non-uniform linear movements may cause your unconscious brain to mistakenly assume you are asleep because it cannot detect sufficient acceleration. So, how can you keep the acceleration of your body movements within a small range? You just need to slow down your movements. Tai Chi is a perfect example. Most of the movements in Tai Chi come from Chinese martial arts, but the biggest difference between Tai Chi and other martial arts is the speed of the movements. Therefore, although most of those movements are nonlinear, due to the slow and uniform speed of each movement, and the seamless and continuous transitions between movements, the acceleration throughout the entire flow can be almost ignored. Also, in various moving exercises of Qigong, most, if not all, use very gentle and slow movements based on the same principle. That is to say, whether it is Tai Chi or Qigong, so long as you truly practice slowly, you can achieve the effect of meditation. Or to make the point more bluntly, Tai Chi and Qigong are essentially forms of meditation. Moreover, Newton's first law is also known as the law of inertia. The so-called inertia refers to the property of an object resisting changes to its motion state. By applying this law, we can not only better understand the relationship between stillness and motion, but also unlock the principle behind the progressive muscle relaxation method mentioned in Chapter 1, Awake Sleep. We already know that this method deliberately tightens and relaxes different muscle groups in the body progressively, thereby gradually eliminating the tension and inducing a sense of relaxation. But how exactly does that work? Suppose the degree of muscle tension ranges from 0 to 10, with several levels in between. That is to say, when we engage in intense physical activity, the muscle tension can rise to 10, whereas when we are asleep, the muscles are completely relaxed, and the tension drops to 0. When we wake up, under normal circumstances, our muscle tension level is not 0 or 10, but rather stays at a value between 0 and 10. Let's assume that that value is 3, although it may vary slightly for each person. Note that, under normal circumstances, it is difficult to experience the feeling of muscle relaxation below that normal value of 3. However, if we deliberately tighten our muscles and maintain this for a while, and then suddenly relax them, the muscle tension will quickly drop from 10 to 3. However, it will not stop there, but due to the inertia effect mentioned earlier, it will continue to decrease to 2, then 1, and even 0. Of course, after reaching the lowest point, the muscle tension will rebound, and rise back up to 1, and then 2, before finally returning to the normal value of 3 and staying there. Although this relaxation of muscles below 3 is not long-lasting, usually not exceeding half a minute, it allows us to experience the physical changes that occur only after falling asleep even when we are awake. It can be said that Dr. Jacobson's invention is truly remarkable. This is also why in Chapter 6, 1,000 Hours, we considered achieving full-body muscle relaxation as the criterion for completing the initial phase of learning meditation, because not only is it a very clear and explicit goal, but, more importantly, it is a goal that we can partially experience through the progressive muscle relaxation method. Also, the series of movements in yoga share similarities with progressive muscle relaxation. The principles behind both are exactly the same. In fact, the founder of yoga, Patanjali, explained in detail the 8 limbs of yoga in his book Yoga Sutras. What we typically practice today in the gym is only the 3rd limb, which is the asana or posture yoga. The later pranayama or breathing yoga is similar to Qigong's tuna or xingqi. As for the 7th limb, dhyana, it is an extremely deep meditation, and the 8th limb, samadhi, is the highest state that meditation can bring us to, the unity of heaven and humanity. In short, stillness is meditation, as well as uniform linear movement. Slow and continuous nonlinear movement and non-uniform linear movement can also be forms of meditation. As for the various muscle relaxation techniques, they are excellent warm-up exercises for meditation. They help us set meditation goals, experience or partially experience the wonderful feelings that come with achieving those goals, and always have a firm belief and a lively hope. In many Eastern temples, you will find a stone tablet or plaque inscribed with the words "entering samadhi." It means that no matter who enters there, they must put aside their distractions and purify their minds to discover their true selves. However, most believers do not know that samadhi is not in the temple or in the wild forests, but in everyone's own hearts. Instead of looking for immortals and seeking the Tao far away, it is better to sit quietly at home or walk slowly in the yard to find the mysteries of life in the joy of meditation. May each of us find our own samadhi and enter it whenever we want to, whenever we need to, and whenever we have to.